I think technology is not only a very positive disruptive force, but it gives you the possibility of doing things smarter, faster, and more efficiently. If I just give you a lay of the land, normally you talk about IT doing ERP and working on computers and controlling machines and so on. That's the last century. Now, probably the best medium for dispersing education, health and so on is IT, is telecommunications. Pakistan is at an inflection point with all the fiber that is there and new fiber which is being laid. 3G, 4G and potentially whatever 5G is going to be blanketing Pakistan. 45 million people who are on the internet, that's a huge amount. And it is so transformative that it is used from anything ranging from my wife's tailor communicating with her on WhatsApp to are doing a project on centralizing all the land records, which is a very complex thing, and now setting up a data center for it, having the best of the breed software companies writing software. So something which is, 80% of cases in Pakistan is lands and dispute over lands and murders. That is the first step to get the controversy out of it. I'll give you another example. There is a company which is using telecom technologies and a completely different mindset in teaching young girls from nursery to class 4, the primary girls, across 1200 schools in the KPK, from Swath to Malakand to Swabi and they have a centralized point where lady teachers who would normally go to school at a certain time and finish, they have the same hours because that's what other places are schools are there. Each teacher is managing 4 to 5 schools at a time, and each school may be 100 miles apart, and all of them being taught in Urdu and English, not in Pashto. And you should see the transformation of these girls sitting in the middle of nowhere after 3 months on this, very confidently being able to use tablets. Not only that, be able to answer questions. They are teaching not only English, Urdu, science, but mathematics, science. The other day I was there, somebody was teaching factorization. Now, how do you teach factorization? When the lady was doing it, I was amazed. My teacher couldn't teach it to me in my class. And that factorization of those girls, class 3, class 4 factorization sikha rahe hain. It was the most amazing experience for me. I discovered there are other people who are doing it. These are the people that I work with. Take health. Not only consulting, which used to happen many years ago, but there are instruments that you can monitor and transfer information and knowledge about things like blood pressure, even diabetes, even sugar levels in non-intrusive manner. I work with other startups. There's an organization known as Jumpstart. I was judging one of the entities. There was this young girl who came up and showed us a device that you could put on your finger. It not only read your heartbeat, it measured the sugar content through dispersion of the laser beam that she had in that small device. Amazing. All that is linked back on a very small interface through a mobile phone and goes back to a doctor. So education, highly disruptive, but that's the only way we can overcome this whole issue of 25 million students out of school and the 25 million who have studied but do not know what it is. You see entities like the virtual university. A virtual university which we started way back in 2000 is now one of the most marvelous campuses that you can imagine. I interview students from the virtual university. They are at par with LUMS and FAST and so on. Amazing, and they got the best jobs. So I think as as a country we are innovative, जुगाड़ी हम लोग, and we try and make the best of what we have available to you right now, with connectivity being very effective and very low cost because of the competition. Even entities, intelligent entities, Telenor is one. Telenor is investing heavily in people, not just their primary thing. I am working with them on the IoT Internet of Things platform, and they're putting in money, they're putting in education, they're putting in services, and because they know this normal CSR, बेचारे गरीबों के लिए हमने ये कर दिया, कपड़े दे दिए, it has gone to a very high level. And what is making that go is technology, and the technology is the internet technology. The ability of girls who cannot really go out because of a variety of reasons, education comes to them. They only need to go somewhere to give tests, for instance, or in entities like Coursera, which give you certificates without being recognized. You can do analytics, you can do any subject that you want. So I think technology, the word disruption is used negatively normally, but I think it is probably the best leverage that we can do if we use it intelligently. Starting with core infrastructure. Transworld is a company which and PTCL have brought fiber into Pakistan, and I'll give you statistics. In 2000, I was advisor to the minister. At that time, a 2 megabit bandwidth into Pakistan was about $40,000 at that time. Today, 2 megabits is $1. That transformation is there because they are bringing in bulk gigabits. They are putting up terabits cable. Multinet is putting up a terabit cable which lands in Gwadar in Karachi. Transworld is bringing in multi-terabit at the landing site, and they are now getting into GPON, is gigabit passive optical networks. So the amount of bandwidth which is coming in is very low cost, so it makes it easier for everybody. There are north-south rings. PTCL has, Multinet has, and I think one more entity, Mobilink probably. All of them have multiple rings. Rings mean they don't collapse. If they break somewhere, the connectivity comes from some other side. The Minister of IT, Anusha Rahman, and a very dynamic person, Yusuf Hussain, who is I call him the chief igniter. He is the CEO of Ignite, which is funding startups, the national incubation centers, Islamabad, Peshawar, Karachi, Lahore. They're coming all over the place. So we are heading to that perfect storm where everybody is focused in that direction. Now, because of all what's happening around, the promises, there's a USF, Universal Service Fund, which has billions of rupees. So the pressure now is on the government to spend this money. And to do that, they are doing multiple things. They are going not only to remote areas, but they are getting a concerted sort of a program where they can go to the most remotest of places and put them on fiber. You cannot have growth unless you have fiber connectivity. DSL is dead. Wireless can only do so much. So it's fiber, and you cannot deprive. You cannot have, like they say, children of a lesser god if you are in a small village. The other day I was talking to people in the Pakistan Railways, God bless their soul, I don't know which century they live in. If they would take up a fiber, lay it across all the path where the train goes, they would cover the whole population of Pakistan. I begged them, talked to them, I was given a nice biscuits and tea, but I think they're not, unless somebody gets there, moves them. रेलवे साइड के ट्रैक पे आप चला दें, ना राइट ऑफ वे के पैसे देने, ना कुछ करना, और हर जहाँ वे स्टेशन है उधर वाईफाई लगा दो. अगर गवर्नमेंट यही कर दे, spend a few billions of rupees, it will light up everything. I do intelligent buildings, I am doing smart cities, and one of the things that I am doing there is every city that I'm going to do, every campus I'm going to do is going to have blanket Wi-Fi. So you will not actually, it's big competition for the mobile operators, but you can start a conversation getting out from your house, you go into your neighbor's house, handoffs will take place. You will be covered from all directions. The one thing that I'm fearful about, I did some work when I was many years ago when we were starting with high power transmitter. I set a Parktel, there used to be very high power transmitters, is the impact of electromagnetic EMF radio technologies on the people, especially young children. My biggest concern is number one, small children, babies, small children, 4 or 5 years old, should not have mobile phones near their heads. Their cranial structure is such that I'll share these pictures with you. You have the radiation penetrating very deep into their brains. As we go older, the cranial structure is such that it stops. Another thing, if you use a mobile phone, I keep on telling everybody this and I forget, use your left ear, don't use your right, because that is where you hit your most cognitive. 132 kV lines, 11 kV lines, mobile phone towers, the amount of radiation we have all around us, these LED lights, everything is radiating. I have no idea what this is doing to our internal structures. People like me who are, in a few years I'll be gone, but the younger people who are getting this penetrated into their system, nobody, and there's lots of let's say research work done on it, but nobody has converted the research work into something understandable. कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं? There should be some safe rooms, areas in our house. There should be just हम तो screen time कहते हैं क्योंकि see कि screen time, brain drain. It's also that these devices that you hold in your hands is radiating. If you want, I think I made this and I gave this people, it's like a Geiger counter for radioactive. You just take the tuck 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 tuck. You see the impact as you go around, and you go around the house and you see everywhere that TV, this LED, my phone, your phone, we're enveloped with this. So those are things that we have to watch out for. But getting back to the point, technology, if properly used, is a huge enabler. It enables you to leapfrog. It helps create entrepreneurs. It gives the disadvantaged a lot of leverage by using the brain. So a guy who earns millions of rupees and a guy who doesn't have too much money can use the same technology at the same time.